1. How many children did Belial have? A. 6. B. 12. C. 2. D. 4. The correct answer is C. 2. 2. What did Yaakov, Jacob, do before he went to sleep when fleeing from his parents' home to Laban? A. He built an altar out of stones. B. He gathered up some stones to give as gifts to his family. C. He cleared the ground so that he wouldn't have to sleep on the rocks. D. He put stones around his head. The correct answer is D. He put stones around his head. 3. Which members of the house of Laban, were jealous of Yaakov, Jacob? A. Laban's sons. B. Laban's shepherds. C. Laban's daughters. D. Laban and his wife. The correct answer is A. Laban's sons. 4. What did Yaakov, Jacob, call the place where he met angels after Laban, left Yaakov to return home? A. Luz. B. Yigar Sahadutha. C. Bethel. D. Makanim. The correct answer is D. Makanim. 5. When did Yaakov, Jacob, realize that he had married Leah and not Rachel? A. A week later. B. During the wedding ceremony. C. That night after the wedding was over. D. The morning after the wedding. The correct answer is D. The morning after the wedding. 6. Where did Yaakov, Jacob, ask Rachel and Leah to come to after God appeared to him? A. To the well. B. To his house. C. To Laban's house. D. To the field, to his flock of sheep. The correct answer is D. To the field, to his flock of sheep. 7. How did Yaakov, Jacob, earn a livelihood while living in the house of Laban? A. He worked for Laban. B. He tilled the soil and grew fruit trees. C. He tended herds of camels and donkeys. D. He took care of the well and rolled the stone off and on. The correct answer is A. He worked for Laban. 8. Where did the parents of Yaakov, Jacob, live when he left their home to flee to Haran? A. Beersheba. B. Mitzrayim, Egypt. C. Charan, Haran. D. Hebron. The correct answer is A. Beersheba. 9. What did Yaakov, Jacob, promise if God would look after him and enable him to return home safely? A. That he would give 1/5 of everything he had to God. B. That he would give 1/10 of everything he had to God. C. That he would build a temple to God on this site for weary travelers on their journey to Jerusalem. D. That he would give everything that he had to God. The correct answer is B. That he would give 1/10 of everything he had to God. 10. From where were the shepherds that Yaakov, Jacob, spoke to at the well? A. Charan, Haran. B. Canaan. C. Aram Naharaim. D. Mitzrayim, Egypt. The correct answer is A. Charan, Haran. 11. What did Yaakov, Jacob, say when he awoke from his dream? A. Where is my son Joseph? B. What if my father Isaac, curses me? C. God inhabits this place and I didn't know it. D. I can't help it if my brother is angry at me. The correct answer is C. God inhabits this place and I didn't know it. 12. Who arrived at the well while Yaakov, Jacob, was talking to the shepherds? A. Rachel. B. Leah. C. Isav, Esau. D. Lavan, Laban. The correct answer is A. Rachel. 13. What did Yaakov, Jacob, promise regarding the stone that he set up as a monument, if God would watch over him? A. It would be a meeting point for all of his family. B. He would get married next to that stone. C. It would be a sign that God looked after him. D. It would become a house of God. The correct answer is D. It would become a house of God. 14. What was Rachel's job? A. A shepherdess. B. A milkmaid. C. She didn't have one. D. A farmer. The correct answer is A. A shepherdess. 15. What did God tell Yaakov, Jacob, to do when he appeared to him while he lived in Laban's house? A. To send a message to Isav, Esau, to see if he had forgiven him. B. To ask Laban for higher wages. C. To steal Laban's idols. D. To go back to Canaan. The correct answer is D. To go back to Canaan. 16. What was the name of Rachel's maidservant? A. Hagar. B. Zilpah. C. Milcah. D. Bilhah. The correct answer is D. Bilhah. 17. In Yaakov's, Jacob's dream, God promised that Yaakov's descendants would be as numerous as A. Different species of animals. B. The sand on the seashore. C. The stars in the sky. D. The dust of the earth. The correct answer is D. The dust of the earth. 18. How many sons did Leah bear Yaakov, Jacob? A. 2. B. 4. C. 6. D. 12. The correct answer is C. 6. 19. How did Yaakov, Jacob, recognize his cousin Rachel? A. There was a strong family resemblance. B. They played together as children, so Yaakov recognized her. C. The other shepherds told him that Rachel was coming. D. Rachel came up to Yaakov and introduced herself. The correct answer is C. The other shepherds told him that Rachel was coming. 20. What did Laban, call the pile of stones that he built as an agreement with Yaakov, Jacob? A. Bet-El, Bethel. B. Yigar-Sahaduta, Jugar-Sahadutha. C. Yor-Kasdim. D. Charan, Haran. The correct answer is B. Yigar-Sahaduta, Jugar-Sahadutha. 21. What did Yaakov, Jacob, reply when Laban, asked him why he left without saying goodbye? A. Yaakov said he was afraid that Laban would steal his sheep back. B. Yaakov said he was afraid that Laban would steal his daughters back. C. Yaakov said he was afraid that Laban would kill him. D. Yaakov said he was afraid that Laban would steal his idols back. The correct answer is B. Yaakov said he was afraid that Laban would steal his daughters back. 22. What was the name of Bilhah's oldest son? A. Issachar. B. Dan. C. Asher. D. Gad. The correct answer is B. Dan. 23. What punishment did Yaakov, Jacob, decree for the thief of the idols of Laban? A. The death sentence. B. Cutting off of the thief's right arm. C. A fine of 400 silver shekels. D. 40 lashes with a whip. The correct answer is A. The death sentence. 24. What did Yaakov, Jacob, pour on top of the stone on which he slept, after he awoke from his dream? A. Milk. B. Oil. C. Water. D. Oil and water mixed together. The correct answer is B. Oil. 25. What happened to Yaakov, Jacob, during his trip when he slept on the ground? A. He was attacked by Esau. B. He had a dream. C. He was attacked by animals. D. He overslept. The correct answer is B. He had a dream. 26. How many flocks of sheep were near the well when Yaakov, Jacob, arrived in the land of the eastern people? A. 1. B. 3. C. 2. D. None. The correct answer is B. 3. 27. What did God promise Yaakov, Jacob, in his dream? A. That there would be an eternal pact between Yaakov's children and God. B. That Jerusalem, would be the eternal capital of Yaakov's descendants. C. That the land upon which Yaakov rested would be given to him and his children. D. That Yaakov's children would be redeemed by God from the slavery of Mitzrayim, Egypt. The correct answer is C. That the land upon which Yaakov rested would be given to him and his children. 28. What was the original name of the place which Yaakov, Jacob, called Beit El, Bethel? A. Luz. B. Kiryat Arba. C. Beit El. D. Beersheba. The correct answer is A. Luz. 29. What did Leah call her second son? A. Reuben. B. Shimon, Simeon. C. Levi. D. Gad. The correct answer is B. Shimon, Simeon. 30. Why were all the flocks and shepherds gathered at the well in the area of Charan, Haran? A. In order to buy and sell sheep, wool and produce to people from the nearby town. B. In order to travel together back to their homes to protect their sheep. C. In order to gossip and catch up on the day's news. D. In order to roll the stone off the well together so that they could water their flocks of sheep. The correct answer is D. In order to roll the stone off the well together so that they could water their flocks of sheep. 31. For how long did Yaakov, Jacob, work for Laban, for free? A. A week. B. 7 years. C. A month. D. 22 years. The correct answer is C. A month. 32. What did Leah name her first son? A. Shimon, Simeon. B. Joseph. C. Reuben. D. Benjamin. The correct answer is C. Reuben. 33. Why did Yaakov, Jacob, go to sleep on his way to Charan, Haran? A. Rebekah, told him to stop there. B. He was tired. C. He ran out of food and he was waiting for people to bring him more. D. The sun was setting. The correct answer is D. The sun was setting. 34. What kind of goats did Yaakov, Jacob, request as his wages from Laban? A. white ones. B. A tenth of Laban's flock. C. Spotted and speckled ones. D. Brown ones. The correct answer is C. Spotted and speckled ones. 35. What was the name of Yaakov's, Jacob's, 11th son? A. Gad. B. Asher. C. Reuben, Reuben. D. Yosef, Joseph. The correct answer is D. Yosef, Joseph. 36. After which child's birth did Yaakov, Jacob, decide to leave the house of Laban? A. Asher. B. Benjamin, Benjamin. C. Yosef, Joseph. D. Reuben, Reuben. The correct answer is C. Yosef, Joseph. 37. Who or what was going up and down a ladder from the earth to the sky in Yaakov's, Jacob's, dream? A. Angels. B. The brothers of Yosef, Joseph. C. The children of Israel. D. Satan. The correct answer is A. Angels. 38. What did Yaakov, Jacob, request from Laban, instead of normal wages? A. To marry Rachel. B. To receive a tenth of all that Laban owned. C. To have his own herd of sheep. D. To marry Leah. The correct answer is A. To marry Rachel. 39. What did Laban, do in honor of his daughter's wedding to Yaakov, Jacob? A. Laban and Yaakov jointly built a monument of stone. B. Laban gathered all the people of the place and made a party. C. Laban gave Yaakov a present of all the spotted sheep. D. Laban gave his daughter a gift of Zilpah and Bilhah as maid-servants. The correct answer is B. Laban gathered all the people of the place and made a party. 40. How long after marrying Leah did Jacob, marry Rachel? A. 14 years. B. He married her a week later but had to work for her for an additional 7 years. C. 1 year. D. 1 week. The correct answer is B. He married her a week later but had to work for her for an additional 7 years. 41. How did Laban, try to trick Jacob, to prevent him from getting his wages? A. He changed the color of the sheep and goats. B. He took all the goats and sheep that Yaakov requested out of the herd so Yaakov wouldn't get any. C. He killed all the sheep and goats that Yaakov wanted to take. D. He reneged on his promise and refused to give Yaakov anything. The correct answer is B. He took all the goats and sheep that Yaakov requested out of the herd so Yaakov wouldn't get any. 42. On what were the angels going up and down in Jacob's, dream? A. A mountain. B. A ladder. C. A rope. D. A staircase. The correct answer is B. A ladder. 43. After his dream, what did Jacob, call the place that he slept in? A. Charan, Haran. B. Elonai Mamre. C. Beit El, Bethel. D. Beersheba, Beersheba. The correct answer is C. Beit El, Bethel. 44. What did Jacob, do with the stone that he slept on, after he awoke from his dream? A. He took it with him as a sign that God had appeared to him. B. He anointed it as a monument. C. He built an altar from it. D. He took it with him to give as a present to his family. The correct answer is B. He anointed it as a monument. 45. What covered the top of the well in the Charon, Haran, area when Yaakov, Jacob, approached it? A. A huge slab of wood. B. A large stone. C. A large bucket. D. Nothing, as it was uncovered. The correct answer is B. A large stone. 46. What was the name of Leah's maidservant? A. Zilpah. B. Bilhah. C. Devorah. D. Rachel. The correct answer is A. Zilpah. 47. Where did Laban, catch up with Yaakov, Jacob, after chasing him for 7 days? A. Chevron, Hebron. B. Shechem, Nablus. C. Bet-El, Bethel. D. Mountain of Belad. The correct answer is D. Mountain of Belad. 48. How many days did Laban, chase after Yaakov, Jacob, when Yaakov left to return to Canaan? A. 7. B. 8. C. 12. D. 3. The correct answer is A. 7. 49. How many years did Yaakov, Jacob, work in order to marry Rachel? A. 6. B. 7. C. 1. D. 14. The correct answer is B. 7. 50. Who stood at the top of the ladder in Yaakov's, Jacob's dream? A. Satan. B. God. C. The angel Gabriel. D. A heavenly chorus of angels. The correct answer is B. God. 51. To where did Jacob, travel when he fled from his parents' home? A. Beit-El, Bethel. B. Beersheba. C. Charan, Haran. D. Gerar. The correct answer is C. Charan, Haran. 52. What was the name of the oldest daughter of Laban? A. Leah. B. Rachel. C. Sarah. D. Rivka, Rebecca. The correct answer is A. Leah. 53. Whom did Rachel give to Yaakov, Jacob, as a wife since she was childless? A. Bilhah. B. Zilpah. C. Leah. D. Milcah. The correct answer is A. Bilhah. 54. What was the name of Leah's daughter? A. Rachel. B. Dinah. C. Jochebed. D. Miriam. The correct answer is B. Dinah. 55. What excuse did Laban, give Yaakov, Jacob, for giving him Leah as a wife and not Rachel? A. He said that the custom where they lived was that the older daughter must get married before the younger one. B. He said that he made a mistake and didn't realize which daughter he had given him. C. He said that Leah loved Yaakov but Rachel didn't, so Laban let Leah take Rachel's place. D. He said that he thought that Yaakov really wanted to marry Leah. The correct answer is A. He said that the custom where they lived was that the older daughter must get married before the younger one. 56. What did Rachel steal from her father Laban, when Yaakov, Jacob, and his family left Laban's house? A. His maidservant. B. His sheep. C. His tent. D. His idols. The correct answer is D. His idols. 57. How many children did Zilpah have? A. 9. B. 12. C. 8. D. 2. The correct answer is D. 2. 58. What did Yaakov, Jacob, and Laban, build to symbolize their peace treaty? A. A stack of stones. B. A house. C. A pillar. D. An altar. The correct answer is A. A stack of stones. 59. What was the first thing Yaakov, Jacob, did when he saw Rachel? A. He asked her to give him water. B. He cried and shed tears of joy. C. He kissed and hugged her. D. He rolled the stone off the top of the well by himself and watered her sheep. The correct answer is D. He rolled the stone off the top of the well by himself and watered her sheep. 60. How did God introduce himself in Yaakov's, Jacob's dream? A. I am God, worship me because I am that I am. B. I am the God who will take your children out of Mitzrayim, Egypt. C. I am the God of your fathers, Avraham, Abraham, and Yitzhak, Isaac. D. I am the God who created the heavens and the earth. The correct answer is C. I am the God of your fathers, Avraham, Abraham, and Yitzhak, Isaac.